with Kate Olson. As an evolving spirit and change adventure navigator, it is Kate's mission to empower and guide you on your path and inspire your truest passions. She will encourage you to share your gifts, speak your truth, and ignite your inner wisdom and purpose. She hopes to do so with a little humor and grace, and her own soul fire passion. Kate talks with amazing guests who have embraced the pursuit and are fanning the flames of their own passion, purpose, and soul fire wisdom. Now here's your host, Kate.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Soulfire Wisdom and Tips, Tricks, and Triumphs Tuesday. So, if this is your first time listening, I'm a hypnotherapist, an NLP practitioner, a Reiki master, and a life coach. But I like to call myself a change adventure navigator because I love guiding clients through obstacles and adversity to find their path, purpose, and peace. So before we get started today, I would like to talk a little bit about listening, because I had a client this week who told me that people told them that they didn't listen. And in general, I think this is a really typical problem in our society, not just with listening to other people, which we don't do as much as we should, but listening to ourselves and our bodies, our minds, and our intuition. In general, we don't pay attention and we don't listen. And I discovered this recently about myself. I thought I paid a lot of attention to this, especially since I'm an empath, so I'm getting messages from other people continuously and try to listen to my own intuition as much as possible. But I made a discovery that I don't listen to my body as closely as I, should. And I even had some beliefs based on my lack of listening to messages from my body that were really affecting me. I think I've mentioned on quite a few different shows that I have difficulty sleeping. And I actually believe that my body clock was really different than other people's. And that was why I had these sleep difficulties, that I didn't get tired on a 24-hour cycle. And it's because I haven't been listening to messages from my body for so long that I didn't even realize when I was getting them. Since I was a child, I've been resisting and fighting sleep. So it just was natural for me to, if my body was tired and it wasn't a convenient time for me to want to sleep, I just ignored that my body had told me that I was tired. So eventually your body gets the signal that, hey, she doesn't really want to sleep. And so I guess I'm bringing this up because I think we have to pay attention to all of the aspects in our life and just learn to listen better to other people, have you ever heard yourself say, did you hear what you just said? Or to the signals that our body sends us and our mind and our intuition. So that's my 2 cents on listening for today. We have a great show planned, and my guest is Conrad Real. And he's a well-known percussionist. And to watch him work the drum kit is to experience your own eyes bulging. Conrad performs regularly with Grammy-winning hip-hop trio Digable Planet, as well as a beloved Emerald City funk quartet down north. He's known by many around his hometown as Superman, and both for the sculpted physique underneath his blue t-shirt, which I see he's wearing today, and the locomotive-paced laser beam precise playing he brings to prominent shows. Real collaborates regularly with other significant musical artists. He shared stages with Andrew Gouche, Kamasi Washington, Billy Branch, Federico Malaman, Hadrian Feraud, Tom Browne, and the Temptations G.C. Cameron, and many others. I actually met Conrad in 2015 when he was DJing at a popular Kirkland pub for karaoke night. And he probably actually doesn't remember this. I didn't actually know he played the drums and was famous for that at the time, but I thought he was a really, entertaining DJ. And I know that if you're a parent, you know how hard it is to get cool cred with your kids. And I have to thank Cameron because when my son saw Conrad on my Facebook, he was really impressed. And so, you don't find that too often. I've interviewed a lot of people, and very few of them impress my son. So I'm thrilled to introduce Conrad now. Hi, Conrad.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. It's going
Awesome.
well. To start out with, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what brought you to your current path?
Well, pretty much same story, it's just about all drummers. Started playing in church when I was about 12, 13. Been playing in church, pretty much ever since, up until lately, until I started kind of touring more. But I played marching band and concert band and jazz band in high school for 3 years over at Franklin High School.
Oh, okay. So you are originally from Seattle.
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay. So what is the difference between a percussionist as opposed to a drummer?
I guess it really kind of depends on who's asking. Like I would consider myself more of a drummer, although I have percussionist-like tendencies. Like I guess a percussionist, by my definition, would be more like a gap filler. So like the drummer would kind of keep the beat and the rhythm and whatnot, as well as the bass player would kind of subpar be taking care of that as well. But the percussionist would fill in the gaps where it would need to be filled at. So if it seemed like the groove or the music was kind of empty, the percussionist kind of helps take care of that.
Okay. Just just something I wondered about, so I thought maybe the audience would too. So how have you fared through a pandemic and this kind of year and a half of chaos that we've had?
Patience. Pretty much just kind of, it gave me a chance to hang out with family more, in a sense, at least certain family, because like you can't really be, when it first came out, everybody was like, we don't want to be around everybody because COVID. And then once we kind of started getting a better handle on it, it was just like, okay, we can, at least with certain people that or at least with me, that I would trust to be around, I could be around them a little bit more. But as far as from the music side of things, I pretty much just kind of sat back and worked on my own music, original music. Currently kind of putting some stuff together to hopefully drop an album or two coming in the near future.
Okay. So, how long actually have you been playing professionally?
Professionally, I guess by my standards, I would say since I was about 19.
Ah, okay.
You could technically say, 15 or 16, but I didn't start getting like paid on a consistent basis until I was like 19. And that's when I started like actually gigging and stuff.
Okay, so how did you get that Superman nickname, and how did it, stick?
That's actually a good question. It actually started. So I went down to this event called the Namm Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's this big event that they do. I guess they have 3 different events a year normally, but the main one is the one in the winter, which is in January, like late January usually.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went down there for the first time, 2011. A friend of mine was just really on my case about getting down there to this event, like to the point where I was just like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I went, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And so what happened was I went down there, and I went down with a collection of different t-shirts, like Superman, Batman, the Punisher, and I don't know, the Hulk and stuff like that. And each day I would wear, a different shirt. And so I had on the Superman shirt on one particular day, and I guess it must have just been the best day to possibly wear it, because I went out to see like some of the drum clinics and bass clinics and stuff like that. And come to find out, I'm in the background of like 90% of the videos, because I'm like right behind the artist that's performing, or at least close enough. And I'm also sitting next to like world famous musicians at the time who were just, well beyond where I am. So I'm sitting next to them, and then I did a little performing myself, just kind of noodling around at the different booths that they had. And I think it was like maybe a month later, people started hitting me up like, hey, I saw you in the background of that video, or I saw you in that video throwing a stick in the air and whatnot. And then the next year, I was like, okay, I got to go back again. I go back to Namm, and I had on the same Superman shirt the first day, and right out the gate, like 100 people almost in a row were like, I remember you from last year. You was the guy, you was Superman that was playing the drums. And like, when that happened, I was like, okay, let me just wear it again and see what happens. And the same thing just kept happening. So ever since then, I just made it a thing. I just started wearing a Superman shirt, and people just tend to have take a
Good.
liking to it.
Yeah. Okay. It's always interesting to find out how people get those nicknames. So, who inspires you, or who are your inspirations?
Hmm. I guess that list could be long, but I guess the top ones would be Michael Jackson. And it's more so because of not only the obvious things, the dance moves and all that stuff, the music and stuff, but the perfection that he put into his craft was what I was actually most impressed by, and that inspired me to try and be at least close to as perfect, you know. So I strive to be on that level, basically, uh, as well as with Prince, kind of the same deal. Uh, let's see. As far as I guess that also would kind of tend to go towards like a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant as well, because of what they
Okay,
put
so
into.
your overall inspiration's not necessarily musical. So
Yeah,
good. So, do you personally have favorite drummers or other musicians that kind of formed your, style, or how you are?
definitely. I would have to say Dennis Chambers being a drummer, that's definitely easily one of the top ones. Uh, Vinny Caliuta, Dave Weckl, Chris Coleman, um, Ronald Bruner. Yeah, there's a list. Buddy Rich, Sonny
Oh
Payne, like
yeah.
going forever as far as drummers goes. And then musicians, generally, I would say Victor Wooten. That's one of my absolute favorites of all time. Marcus Miller, Stanley Clark, uh, Vernon Reed, Tosin Obasi. Like man, I could go forever.
Okay. So, you play a fairly wide range of music genre, or you can. So, what is your favorite to play?
Hmm, good question. I'm not sure if I have a favorite. I think I guess jazz would have to be one of them. Uh, Funk, of course, pop, rock. I love Latin music, Afro-Cuban. Yeah, pretty much anything you
Okay,
can. I like it all. Like I like the challenge of the music, but as
great.
well, uh, you know,
So, was there some specific person or any specific person who inspired you or motivated you to start playing the drums?
um, well, I kind of always wanted to really play, and I guess it may have been slightly more provoked by uh like some of my cousins or close friends from when I first started playing. Uh, there, I know my godbrother Steven, he was probably one of the biggest inspirations when I first started playing, and then uh, Latamala, she was also a drummer as well. They're both drummers. They were
Oh,
probably
okay.
the
Is
two
that
main.
someone you're related to?
They're just well, one's the god. Steven's my godbrother, and then Tamala, she's just another really close friend, I guess, as far as
Okay.
musically,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, they were there like right in the beginning when I first started playing, and I picked up a lot from them. And
Okay. So you've played, in a lot of different venues and all over the country. And so what are the top 5 locations, cities, or countries that you've played in?
You mean nationally and internationally?
Yeah.
Oh man, let's see. South Africa would be one. Some parts of Russia, New Zealand. What else? Sydney, Australia. What was another one? Brazil.
Oh, okay. So those are all outside the US. Was there something, did you just like going to those places, or was there something about them that made you like playing there?
Well, I guess it's more so the energy from the crowd than anything. Like they're all nice places to go. Like even like
Mhm.
Mexico was good too.
Yeah.
But like the energy from the crowd was my favorite part. Like they will not let you feel like you weren't doing a good job.
Okay. So did you have a favorite US place that you liked?
mm, well, LA and New York right off the gate are probably my favorite ones that I could think of. Um, what else? Philly is cool.
Okay.
Miami, Texas. I mean, I don't think there's really been a bad spot. I guess there's spots that just may stand out a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the most challenging things that you face in your music career?
Hmm. Most challenging, I guess, really right now is just more so, I guess, having patience with certain others, I guess, could be one thing.
Okay.
Because one of the most overlooked things I think about being in the music industry is dealing with other personalities, especially on the road. So like that would be probably one thing I could say would be the biggest challenge at times at least.
Yeah.
Uh, Other than that, I guess I would say becoming famous.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Game, yeah, that would be the probably the biggest of them all. Like gaining the traction that others are gaining. And it may seem like it's easier than what it is, but I know there's something with it.
Yeah. That's probably always a challenge for somebody who wants to, promoting what you do.
Yeah.
So, what have you found most rewarding about your career choice?
Hmm. I would say hard work pays off.
Okay. Okay. So, this is a question that's kind of off topic, but I've been asking all my guests for a while now. So, what has surprised you most about life so far?
Hmm. About life so far, I think. Well, for me, I think the biggest surprise is that I'm not, I guess. not more well known in a sense, but at the same time, that I'm also not a professional athlete at this point in time versus a professional drummer. And most people wouldn't know unless they knew me, but like I also play, well, currently I'm not really a basketball player, but like I actually did a lot of basketball playing over the years, and I was seeking to go to the NBA, at least up to a certain point. Now I'm like a little over the top.
Okay, well, that is probably why my son is impressed with you, is because he's, as well as really, he wanted to play the drums when he was a kid, so that was probably part of it. But he's a sports and basketball fanatic, so that's probably what impressed him about you. So
Yeah.
you may not be famous, but you're probably more well known than you realize. So, well, really, I mean, I think fame is one of those things that develops on a local level and radiates out. So, and that's part of why it takes so long. And that, I mean, there are those situations where somebody becomes famous overnight, but those are, you know, not the normal way it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So almost everybody I've talked to that has big goals has been impatient about them. So what are some of your future goals?
I guess for one, be able to release a couple albums of my own, I guess, at least with the primary bands that I'm playing with, like Omega being one of the primary ones. Want to drop an album with that particular group, definitely. That's actually probably going to be the next album that's going to drop, if it's not Down North first.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. That'll probably be in the next 5-6 months.
Oh, okay. Not too far off goal then. Anything else?
Other than that, get in shape.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's just more just behind the scenes things that I think would be the goals that I'm really most looking forward to, and mainly the recording and distributing and whatnot.
Okay. I'm guessing you probably like performing live best, but do you also enjoy the recording, or is that just kind of a necessary part of the business?
Well, I definitely, without a doubt, enjoy playing on stage more, because there's nothing like getting the energy from the crowd and the other musicians that are playing with you. But at the same time, I do very well enjoy playing in the studio as well. Like it has it's fun. Like stage, I mean, it's unmatched when you perform live versus being in the studio. But I can't say that I don't love playing in the studio. Like it's still fun.
So do you like the creative part of it, or, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite part.
Okay. So we're just about coming to the end. if you could leave the listeners with one thought from today's show, what would that be?
Ooh. One thought, huh? I would have to just say, stay focused. You know, you really don't know, like, if you put your mind to something, you can actually accomplish that if you really put the time and energy into what you're trying to accomplish. So I would just stay focused on it, whatever it
Okay,
is.
good advice. So if the listeners want to connect with you, find out more about what you're doing or, what's coming up, how would they do that?
You can always catch me on Facebook, and everything's under my first and last names, all the same. Facebook under Conrad Real, or you can look up on Instagram, same thing. And also, if you look on Facebook and Instagram, you'll find Omega Band as well, and that's the band page for the band I was just telling you about. We'll be releasing the album coming up here in the next couple months or so.
Okay,
Yeah, other than that's pretty much about it.
that's the best way then. Okay. Thank you for being here today. It's, always interesting to find out more about people who do interesting things like playing the drums. So thank you for being here and talking about it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I have a couple of quotes actually for the audience to carry with them through the week, actually about drumming. And one of them is, a band is as solid as its drummer is. And that was said by Joey Kramer. And then life is about rhythm. We vibrate, our hearts are pumping blood. We are a rhythm machine. That's what we are. And that was said by Mickey Hart. So I think they're both kind of profound statements about how the drum fits into the whole musical performance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Most definitely.
all right. We have another great show planned for next week. Next week, my guest will be Lori Hardman. We're kind of staying with the musical theme. And Lori is a singer-songwriter. And she, with her own band, Lori Hardman Band. And I had her on the show actually just about a year ago. And that was during COVID. And she was talking about what she was doing at that time. And we said, well, when you start performing again, because she was writing several songs and an album, then I'll have you back on and you can talk about that. So she's going to be talking about her songs and album that she came out with, and what it's like to be back on stage. So join us next Tuesday, 3 p.m. And thanks again, Conrad.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And I'm just going to say bye for now.
Right on, right on.
Soulfire Wisdom with Kate Olson. We hope you enjoyed the show. If we made you laugh, brightened your day, or sparked a new thought, we have succeeded in our mission. Join us next time when we'll share more secrets and truths and all the magic of transformation that is the journey to Soulfire Wisdom. Always remember, be fierce in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.